Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the Movie Throne podcast. I'm your host, the one and only King freaking Kansas, going solo again this weekend, guys. Don't worry, we're working on the Admiral popping up sometime next week, and then we're going to be doing a massive retooling of our channel. King is actually thinking a little on the crazy side, perhaps maybe doing 2 podcast episodes every week starting in April, but we'll see. King's going crazy. He's hard at work, guys. You guys probably saw the posting on our YouTube channel that I'm not retooling the channel, but reorganizing, making new thumbnails for our channel, giving us a facelift, basically, going into the rest of this year. Just trying to shake things up, but in a proper way, so it's a little bit easier for you guys and a little bit easier for us, because there's a whole bunch of videos dropping everywhere from clip outs and all that. I'm trying to organize everything so then when you guys get on our channel, you guys can find our stuff very easily. If it's a review, it'll be this. And like I said, I'm working on a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm not here to blab about that. I'm here to talk about this week's news and TV and movie entertainment. Yes, and of course, you guys know the drill from now. There's so much that drops. I'm not going to be able to cover every single thing under the sun that dropped in the week because I'll be here forever. And the King doesn't want to be here forever because you guys can tell by the King's gray beard, I'll be like Moses when it's all said and done. A long beard and everything. I don't want to be here forever because, the King does have a life, especially on the weekends. It is Saturday morning after all. March 8th. Wow, we're getting there. Don't forget to, tonight, if you go to bed early, put those clocks ahead 1 hour so you lose an hour of sleep. So, too bad you'll lose an hour of beauty sleep, but you'll enjoy the sunlight. I don't know. We should just leave it alone, in my personal opinion. Whatever. It is what it is. All right, guys, let's get into the thick of things in this particular case. I wanted to tackle some hot topics. Okay, there was a couple of trailers that caught my attention. I'm pretty sure there's probably more since this video and whatever that I didn't see late last night. King was out busy doing stuff and a whole bunch of others because he does have a life. One of the trailers that I saw that came across my eyes was the new, I guess, Hulu/Disney Alien Earth TV show that's based on aliens. I guess it's their early arrival on Earth and then how it progresses into what we know as the movies with Ripley and whatever. I'm not a big fan of aliens. I never, oh my God, I have to watch it. Even the new ones that came in, the last couple, I didn't see those, okay? Even though I heard they're an improvement and they're pretty decent, Alien Earth, based on that, I just managed to see the trailer because I saw the Statue of Liberty poster with that thing on its face, and I'm like, how stupid is it going to be? Anyways, so I looked at it, and I go, it's actually pretty interesting, like what I saw, very interesting, seeing the whole concept of Earth and how people came in contact with these things and how they were created and all this whatever backstory. I don't know, maybe after watching that, the King will get interested in watching the movies again. I don't know, I just never fought the thing, found the thing coming through someone's chest and whatever. And now, I love the Predators better than that, to tell you the truth. Those were my boys, even though both are nuts. It was cool to see them fight. But I don't know, maybe the backstory from what I saw in the trailer, and maybe, for me, it's going to be about the characters. If the characters are well written and the story's well written, then the King will be there. But I was pretty impressed with that. I thought I'd never say that. You'll see the later day for the King to say, yeah, I'm going to give it a try when it comes out. I think it comes out in June, so we got quite a bit for that to come out. But I'm interested. As a TV show rather than movie, maybe it's going to be able to explain itself better and draw my attention, maybe some of you guys too. I don't know. If you guys are fans, let me know in the comment section below. So that's one trailer show. Check for yourselves. Come back in the comment section and let the King and give me your thoughts, pretty much on that. Okay, the other trailer that dropped that I wanted to cover was this trailer called Eden. And I'm like, what the hell is this? It looks like a bunch of dudes. It reminded me of Gilligan's Island, mixed with a whole bunch of other stuff. Well, anyways, this is what got me to it because, it looks like it was a bunch of people that leave where they're in the normal civilized world way back when. I don't know if it was the early 1900s, mid 1900s, something like that. You could tell they were wearing the old clothes and stuff. They go to an island to kind of start their own colony, and as they do, they start to go nuts, and you got the intermingling of relationships. You got this person wanting to sleep with this person's guy, then having a kid, and then, I don't know, it looks like it's going to lead to murder, and then what really drew me thing was a Ron Howard movie, okay? But the cast alone, guys, you tell me this now. Anna de Armas, Sydney Sweeney, Vanessa Kirby, she's going to be in the Fantastic Four. You have, who else? Jude Law is in it. Like, and even the bad guy who played in Civil War, I can't remember his name, but he's also in it. So when you have those 4 or 5 actors, I'm like, okay, I'm intrigued to see this. And especially the trailer, what they showed. They didn't show you too much, but they showed you enough of what it's going to be about. And if you like those kind of movies that are kind of like period pieces, but then there's like a twist, you might like it. And you throw Ron Howard as a director, can't be that bad. I don't know. You know, even though anybody's capable of, you know, producing a stinker, I don't know. It looked interesting. It looked promising. Directed by Ron Howard. I think it's coming sometime this year. I don't know exactly when, but it looked promising to me. I don't know. You guys go in the comment section below and tell the king if you're interested in watching something like that. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is a couple of, I guess, leaks, major leaks, guys. Okay, I don't know how much this is true. They're both MCU related. In particular, one involves the Fantastic Four. Nothing details about the movie or anything. We got like some sketch art from the film that is kind of revealing whether they're legit or not. I'm going to just say that they're legit, just for argument's sakes, so we can talk about something now. And they showed you quite a few. I'll probably put a couple on the screen depending on if I have time to do so, because King's dealing with a little bit of vertigo, guys. So I don't know. You might get a simplified podcast with barely any pictures, and then the clip outs will have the photos 100% in them, just like any segment here that I decide to clip out, so you guys can kind of watch instead of watching me ramble for 20, 30, 40 minutes, whatever it is. You guys know the drill by now, and that'll drop tomorrow. But yeah, like very interesting pictures of particular characters, like, you know, Chris Pratt and all that, like Doctor Doom on his throne with Fantastic Four. It has a big reveal. Spoiler, it's not going to really spoiler, but because we don't know if it's real. Franklin, their kid. So, like, they had little revealing photos like that, and some interesting other characters that you guys can check out for yourselves in the photos when they're on the screen, if I post them. And yeah, you're like wondering, what the hell's going on here? You know, is there a big thing? And then they even revealed at some point too, there was another leak just as I've come making this video because I didn't have time to whatever. I don't want to discuss too much because I didn't read it. Something about the plot of how things are going to work. Like he's trying to figure out how to save his world. It's kind of like loosely based on the comic books. Never read it, so it's going to be new to me. So it's similar, but that's how they usually do it anyways. They grab ideas from the comics and kind of put it in their own version and implement it. Civil War is the biggest thing I can tell you. It wasn't like the comic books. It was totally different. But it worked. Kevin Feige magic, right? Okay, but yeah, I don't know. You guys have a look at them. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think they're legit, not legit? I don't care. They look cool, the artwork, you know? And then the other one I wanted to talk about, sorry, that was Doctor Doom, guys, stuff. I don't know how I mixed that up. I was going to combine it together. Fantastic Four stuff was only like pictures of the family and all that, the thing, sitting at a table and all that stuff, you know. The other stuff that I mentioned was Doctor Doom was Secret Wars or what is it, the Doctor Doom or Doomsday or whatever. That's what the stuff of before was. My bad. My mind's not all there, guys, I'm telling you. King sings stars right now. And the Fantastic Four was pretty much set photos of the team together. You had Invisible Girl with different poses and stuff, holding a baby, Franklin. That's the spoiler part. You know, multiple pictures like that, but nothing too revealing. We don't even know if Doctor Doom's going to be a part of it. Nothing with Galactus or anything like that. But for the most part, it's okay. So yeah, that was the Fantastic Four. The other one was Doctor Doom. And that was pretty much what I came across, guys, because I really want to tackle, you know, some other things there. There's a whole bunch more. If there's other stuff, guys, go in the comment section below. You know the drill. King will respond, you know, because I'm pretty sure I came across it after I posted this video, and we'll discuss it. And that's why, thus, the idea came to my crazy head that, you know what, maybe I'll have to split, you know, do 2 podcast videos on a Tuesday and a Saturday to cover all the stuff, because sometimes I just can't contain all that knowledge and whatever. You got to split it just so you can cover the topics a lot better. But whatever, that's another thing. All right, guys, let's get into my favorite portion. It's going to be action-packed, the reviews. My God, I'm going to start off with the movie that I managed to watch, and then the rest are TV shows. So, and I should be calling it TV Throne. Don't have a YouTube channel, but yeah. Anyways, we'll get to that. Whatever. The movie that the King decided to tackle because it was recommended by the Admiral and everybody else on the face of this planet. King, we know you're not an animated guy. I keep on repeating myself. Sound like a broken record here on the YouTube channel, on the podcast especially. That I'm not an animated guy. I don't like the new animation style. I'm a traditionalist, Drew, whatever the hell. King does a whole bunch of stuff. But anyways, you got to check this little movie from DreamWorks called The Wild Robot, okay? So I finally braved it out, decided to watch it on one of the streaming services. It starts Lupita Nyong'o as the main character, robot, and you got, Hamill and all these other actors who pop up playing Pedro Pascal. He's the fox in this thing. You got a young kid, Kit Connor. He plays Brush Bill or whatever. Bush Bill. He's the duck. He's the little duck that the robot ends up, whatever. Yeah, spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen it, your fault. It's been out for a little while. And I'm telling you, you got a whole bunch. Mark Hamill. He plays the bear. You have Bill Nye, who plays the older goose that they confront, that the duck goes with later on. Ving Rhames, he plays Thunderbolt. He plays like a tough as nails goose or whatever. There's a whole bunch of animals and voice actors, I'm pretty sure of it. But the main one is Lupita Nyong'o. This one was like, guys, about an hour and 33 minutes or something like that. In my personal opinion, could have been an hour. But anyways, it's directed by Chris Sanders. And it came out, I want to say, 2024, okay? So I went into this thing. You guys seen my reaction, what I thought, I was impressed, but I wasn't, like, blown away by it, And I think it's one of those things. It looks spectacular. Don't get me wrong. Well animated. It's the one thing from beginning to end that it does not lack is the animation. Is top-notch. Like DreamWorks, bravo. Storyline, like I said, it took me maybe the first 10 or 15 minutes to really get into it. And then I'm like, okay, this is what it's going to be about. It's going to be about this robot who gets somehow abandoned. It's going to wake up, and then it's going to have to pretty much eventually over time learn to live in the wild to survive. Because I know it's been created to kind of like serve people, and it has tasks. And when it realizes it can't follow through on that because it's not possible because it's surrounded by animals. It doesn't. But there's one point that it comes across something tragic happens there. With, I guess, the little duckling the goose that he ends up coming across as a little thing that hatches out of an egg. And that's his task, to take care of it so it can raise it and then whatever, do its own thing. And, it's kind of funny at the beginning when he's trying to go to the different animals to ask, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? And then can't figure out what to do, and the way was like robotic. And then there's like she comes across I guess a field of all these things, and she kind of realizes a little bit of the history of what her purpose is, and then she finds herself, creates her own little voice, and all this stuff becomes an important part of all the animals. You meet different interactions there, and then she ends up taking her goose after raising it for a little while to go with the rest, but they're treating it weird because of the robot and find that weird, and there's like something that almost happens, and she's trying to teach him how to swim to be like the other ones, and then feels like he's being ostracized as an outsider. And that's when Bill Nighy's character comes in and says, you know what, get him to fly up in the air, blah blah blah, the winter is coming, because they have to fly, and the duck is already, everything's against it, wings are small, weak, all this stuff. Do that, and then he can take and watch it. And that's what happens. That was a little bit of a touching moment when the bird literally leaves the nest and leaves it behind. And she kind of goes through her thing, the robot, and discovers other things there and all that. And then the goose that was raised by this robot ends up flying where they're going. And there's a whole bunch of them thinking it's going to act the same way, but they're not programmed the same way. So then they come back, and then there's something tragic that happens. The older Bill Nighy's character dies, and they come back, and then I'm telling you, it's a whole thing like that, which was pretty cool. It had its moments. Don't get me wrong, its feels. But I don't know. It just didn't hit me as how it should, I guess. I don't know. Maybe the King doesn't have a heart anymore. but I've seen it before, right? But it's well done. Everybody who was in it didn't sell out. They acted to the T. It was okay, and don't forget, it's more geared for kids than for me. So that's why it was kind of like, yeah, tune me out. And I think you even mentioned in the reaction, if you want to see a good movie, watch Transformers. So it's whatever you prefer, right? Doesn't make it a bad film, but to me, I just didn't enjoy it too much. I liked it, but it's not like, yeah, I'm gonna watch that with whoever. I'm gonna sit down and with my nephew or whoever the hell wants to watch it, and me like volunteer to do so. No, I'm not gonna be that person. I ain't gonna buy it to add in my collection. It looks good. It looks well. I was maybe expecting a little bit more because when people tell King, you gotta watch this, and then maybe I got let down. My expectations maybe went too high up. I'm a little judgy a little bit there when it comes to animated things, especially when I'm watching a genre that I'm not particularly fond of, or it's not my cup of tea. I'm going to be a little harsh on it, but it was okay. It was one of the better animation films that came out recently, and a lot of people seem to like it. And, like I said, it looks fantastic for a DreamWorks film, and what they put, yeah, it's one of their best. And yeah, you know what? I would tell you guys to check it out, especially if you have kids. Go for it. Me, not my cup of tea. So there you go, guys. That's my official movie review on The Wild Robot starring Lupita Nyong'o. So check it out yourself. Go in the comment section below. Tell me your thoughts. All right. Let's get into the juicy stuff. Last week, I forgot to do a review on this little particular show. Okay, it's on NBC. It's on your local cable, all your television screens and stuff like that. A little show called Suits LA, starring Stephen Amell. Okay? I go, you know what? I was never a big Suits fan. I never watched it online. The Meghan Markle and all the major players and actors have no clue. The King went into this thing blind, saying, you know what? Arrow's in it. I'm going to give it a try. I like the actor. And you know what? He does roles that he's very interested and passionate about. So the King goes, you know what? I'm going to check it out and see what the big deal is, the hype, okay? The first episode was on February 23rd, and then the last week's March 1st, and then the new ones usually drop on Sunday. So tomorrow, the new one's going to drop. But, I'm caught up to the point there for the first two episodes. It's on normal TV. And I can honestly tell you, it's a spin-off series. I liked it. I didn't expect to like it because I wasn't too fond of the other one. Like it wasn't on my radar to go watch it because I could care less about Suits. This show, I was interested in. Maybe it's more because of Stephen Amell. That's why. But no. The other actors who are involved are phenomenal. Like every single actor that you see on screen is interesting. You can latch yourself to anybody. Boom. And I like this whole, maybe they got it from Arrow, flashing backwards to where he was in New York and kind of like what happened for him to end up in LA. I'm not going to ruin it too much, guys. Don't worry. I'm not going to spoil a lot. But Stephen Amell's character goes through something tragic back in, I want to say 2010 or something. It was like recent for him to cause him to move to LA. He was like, kind of like, I don't know if he was a district attorney or something like that. And he was protecting someone at a house that's going to testify against some mobsters. And then shit blows up and goes south. But that wasn't what ends up having him go. That was one of the things. And then to have the witness die in the hospital, and they're kind of trying to cover it up to trying to get somebody else to take the place, which we found out in the second episode. He got the person who was responsible, who bombed the place and killed the guy, kind of tricked him into thinking that this guy's still alive and he's going to rat him out. So when he was in the interrogation room with the lawyer, they tricked him in order to do what they wanted to do so they can get him to testify. But we didn't find out after that point. He kicked his lawyer out and he goes, what do you want me to do? And that's how we got there. And the partner that he had in New York, he ends up calling for a recent case that he's going through now. There's a guy he's representing because he's kind of like a sports agent / lawyer firm kind of thing. His buddy in episode 1, who he thought he could trust, that he could sign off and let someone else buy into the company and kind of give him a little bit more breathing space so he can do what he really wants to do, bought him out, kicked him out, took half his people and went to another firm to start another company. So I don't know if that's how the premises of the show is, that you're close with somebody, you can't trust them, you get backstabbed, and then you're competing against each other. And that's what it pretty much is. So you got people who are loyal to either guy or him, leaving to go work there because he can't give him what he wants to, and he kind of comes out as like a prick, pardon the language, but he does it in a way that you get where he's coming from, but then it's a full circle moment there. So people who you thought that would go to the other guy ends up staying with him, and then you find out in the first episode too, which was good. They got me. I can tell you right now, he has a mentally challenged brother, because when they did the flashbacks, you see him, hanging out with his brother, having a good time, going to the baseball game, and then they flash forward to when his father, because he had a falling out with his father for some reason. You could see in the first episode, and they kind of split. They went their own ways. He was disappointed in him or something like that, and he pretty much says, "F you, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do," kind of thing. And I'm telling you, the way the flashbacks was with the present day, it had his brother with him. This is how they get you here. So he goes to see his father, and this is where everything clicks in, because they did such a good job of, making you believe that his brother is there living with him, because he talks to him like as the present tense, not past tense, to kind of say, okay, whatever. It's not until he goes to see his dying father, who she didn't want to see, to kind of like forgive himself, not forgive him for how he got treated. He's going to die alone in the hospital. He's having this chat with him, and he reveals, like earlier, that it was, his brother, you let him die, or something happened tragically to his brother in order to save him, and that was the kind of like the wrong thing to do. So it's pretty much like, screw you, and you walked out kind of thing. You find out his mother died too. That's why he moved to LA. So that was the tragic moment, that something happened with his brother. I think the flashback moment was with him at the baseball game, and they were having a good time, and baseball was his thing. And then he kind of remembered that, whether it was an anniversary of him dealing with his father and whatever, and everybody going, everything going pretty much falling apart on him. He decides to stay home on his couch, and he says that, aren't you going to work? His brother asks him, and he goes, no. He goes, I'm just going to spend the day with you. And I'm like, okay. His brother is alive, because there was a picture of him and whatever, and because they looked like the same age. So the king's like, what the hell? And then right near the end, someone had called him or whatever, and he ends up kind of turning his head or closing his eyes, and then all of a sudden his brother's not there no more. And I'm like, damn, he's dead. And that's how it kind of sparked. That was the first episode. I was like, blew my mind. I'm like, are you kidding me? So they got drama, actors, and whatever. The second episode had Victoria Justice. It was like an actress who wanted to get let her out of her contract from Warner Brothers, and then you had the two firms and the two people who used to work with each other, kind of like playing against each other script-wise and stuff. Meanwhile, you got Stephen Amell, who's defending this producer guy who seems like he's a scumbag, that he originally told him to go with the guy who left the firm to go let him represent him, and he was going there, and then he ends up getting him back because he needs clients to be okay. And from there is where the mess is like, whoa, and then he's trying to defend him. Then he gets his buddy back from New York to come with him to kind of figure out stuff about him. You got another lawyer that something happened with her, with the new district attorney that's going after him while they're fighting the case. They have some beef, and she's by herself down there. So that could be his new love interest, I think. So you kind of get stuff revealed between them, some drama. Because she comes back all the time giving a plea deal and offer to this guy. He's not who you think he is, blah, blah, blah. And the more and more you learn that this guy is lying to Stephen Amell's character over and over. And then you kind of find out, like, did he kill? And maybe he found out that this guy who he was murdered, that supposedly shot his own head off. Sorry about that, guys. I don't want to reveal that. Not something like to say either. Killed himself. Apparently, he found out that his wife or somebody was sleeping with that guy, and that was, motive. They didn't have motive. The only other motive they had before is that he was taking money from from him, and he found out about it. So maybe there was a confrontation about that. But then you find out that he was also taking the money he was making, and he paid slowly through another means or something like that. But this was the last straw, and he's like, "What the hell's going on?" That's when the district attorney reveals that to him, throws it in that, and she runs into the other actress, the other actor who was down there in his building but doesn't have anything to do with his firm, saying, "You know what? If you're going to be involved in this case, maybe she's going to start helping so-and-so, Stephen Amell's character." So I'm telling you, with all the plot twists, turns, and whatever, and things going on, my God, it looks crazy. So if this is how this is, I can only imagine how Suits is and all the hype there. So now I'm wondering, does the King, after you watch this, does he go revisit the originals? Because I know there'll be some main actors coming and showing up and stuff, and characters that might be coming later in the season. But it's good. Like, it's good for me to keep on watching. And I never said, because I'm not into this crime, drama, lawyer stuff like that. No. Especially Suits. I'm like, you kidding me? But it gets you enough from different angles and different characters that makes you want to watch it. And I'm like, yeah, thumbs up. So I don't know. That's my first 2 episodes review on Suits LA, starring Stephen Amell and a whole bunch of other amazing actors. Go in the comment section below. Let the King know your thoughts. Are you watching it? You like it? I know a lot of people have been bashing on it online. And I can tell you, I don't know what the hell for. Maybe because I'm naive going into this, that I'm not as sensitive as maybe some of you guys are who watch the original. Remember, it's not going to be the same. For me, I always say this. I want it to be as good. At least, not better. Doesn't have to be. As good so I can watch the damn thing. And for me, they got me. NBC, cable TV, you got me. Stephen Amell, that's it. I'm sold, right? So I was pleasantly surprised on that. So that's the review on Suits LA. All right, guys. Now, this is the big boy. I want to talk about Reacher. I know I sound like a broken record. Reacher Season 3, Episode 5 dropped. I think it was called SmackDown. It literally came out this Thursday. And, oh my God, man. This show, phenomenal. Ever since I watched the first 2 seasons, loved what I saw. I'm like, okay, what the hell are they going to do with Season 3? Is it going to slow down? Is this going to be the dud season that it's going to falter? I don't know. Alan Ritchson as Reacher. Come on, Tom Cruise is my man. That's why I'm saying Tom Cruise, Reacher, and then that's why I kind of stayed away from it. But, my God. And you're thinking, week after week, okay, there's going to be a dud episode. I think there's only going to be 8 episodes this season, and this is number 5, okay? And episode after episode after episode, it delivers. And boy, does this one deliver. Stakes are even higher. You guys know the last episode, Duffy and Villanueva, they're going into this warehouse that the bad guys that, that he's infiltrated are headed over to kill them because they're tracking the laptop. So I know he was going to say that they somehow pick off a couple and then the one guy survives and he's going to save the situation he did. So he ends up doing so. He goes back, he saves the day there. But then there's more trouble. For some reason, he found her badge. So he stashes her badge, Duffy's badge, in his pillowcase. Meanwhile, there's turmoil going back. The big guy, McGabe or whatever, McBride, I don't even remember his name anymore, the bad guy that he's after, has told the guy who he's working for, that he's staying at the manor, that they want to check all the rooms out and stuff. So they're checking room by room and room. And trust me, I'm leaving a whole bunch of other stuff. You have like normal, kind of like guys who they have in their pocket working for the FBI or something, I don't know what agency, show up at the house, and there's a funny scene at the table when he goes, where are you going? Where would you just work? Because he's talking to her on the phone, right, to give her some more information. The big boss goes, get in there, do your job. So he goes in there and he has a conversation with these 2 clowns, and the conversation between the 2, I'm not going to repeat it because you can see it for yourself, and the way he whacks one of the guys, phenomenal. And then he kind of protects one of the serving ladies in there in the kitchen. She's very kind to him, brings him meals and all this stuff. She's very thoughtful. So you're thinking, I don't know what's going on there. He's feeling something for her. I don't know what's going on, right? Whatever. Anyways, so because of the shakedown and stuff, guys, you find out that she was an agent and she was the spy. So there's one point that he comes back from shooting off the thing so he can cover his tracks and stopping the guy had the capture. Duffy had that security guy that they captured, that individual beginning of the season. He got free, which is the stupidest thing. He did it. He ended up killing the kid, bashed his, whatever out there, and, blew fire in his face to get loose, and he was headed there. So they had to create a diversion because his cover's going to be blown. He asked, how much time do you have? He's headed towards there probably. So they knew that. So he called Duffy's partner to go there. They flipped the car over to block it. He gets out. Reacher takes him out. Bang. I'm like, man, he's dropping people left, right, and center. Blackout, he ends up going back, and this is when he goes back there, he gets confronted and says, we find out, this is what happened. McCabe, or whatever his name is, goes, McCabe, or whatever his name is. He goes, yeah, he wanted us to check the rooms, and we came across this. And we find out that the cleaning lady that Richard was kind of close with, was nice to, she was an undercover agent of some sort, and they killed her. The Paulie ends up beating her up. He makes a joke about it. So Reacher said something, and then Reacher got punched, and it knocked the wing. I don't know. I think this might have been, yeah, he got punched. And he goes, you're lucky he didn't kill you. And Reacher's like, whoa, stunned. So I don't know if Reacher was a little bit taken back by it, like a little fearful now. This guy can do damage to me. So the guy's kid, who he protected all this time, goes to him, yeah, he could have killed you. You're scared. He goes, no, I'm not scared. I got to figure out how to take this guy down. That's what it is. So you're wondering, is he truth what he's trying to say? He's just trying to brush it off like no big deal, right? So that happens, and then he ends up disposing the body, gets a story and whatever. So you can kind of see that he doesn't like to see stuff like that happen. And then he finds out from Duffy that the agent went down. She discovers it. She screams, and I'm telling you, things are starting to unravel. And then they end up the next day, the boss that he's at the house with and him end up going to the warehouse where they're supposedly selling stuff. Reacher has found out that the last time they had the dog sniffing on one of the episodes there, they couldn't find drugs because they're not pushing drugs, they're pushing guns. So that's what he's kind of figured out. And they're going to the warehouse, and the big boss goes, well, you're about to meet the other big boss. And Richard says, oh, I've been waiting for this day for a long time. And then it cuts out. Boom. And that was episode number 5. And I'm like, are you joking? It's only going to be 3 more episodes after this. So I don't know what the hell's going on. But man, this episode was good. Like I said, there's not one episode, guys, that lets you down off the hook. There's no like throwaway episode. It's good. Episode after episode after episode. And I'm telling you, it's phenomenal. Like, I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section. Did you see episode 5? Have you watched season 3? Did you watch Reacher at all? Either way, check it out for yourselves. Come back. Let me know your thoughts. But I love it, man. I'm waiting for the series 1 episode to be a throwaway. And so far, nothing. It's been delivering. I just can't wait to the finale. And the finale's like not far away. It's 3 weeks away. But anyways, that's my episode 5, season 3 of Reacher review. Hope you guys like that one. Okay, guys. Another series made its debut. A long-awaited debut with delays, pushbacks, reshoots, and all that stuff. What the hell is the king talking? I'm talking about Daredevil, Born Again, with Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio and their iconic roles from the Netflix series as Kingpin, and, of course, Matt Murdock, Daredevil. We even got Deborah Ann Wall coming back to reprise her role as Karen. And I always butcher this poor guy, Eldon, oh my God, Hansen, as Foggy. They came back in this. And I'm telling you, I've never been so excited. My expectations for a series in a long time, like my level was high, right? And I'm like, okay. Because you heard rumors that people have been seeing it, reactions, phenomenal. You know? And you got it was the showrunner and director saying that, oh yeah, you know what? This is going to be more grittier than this. It's going to be this. And then you got the opposite. Like you heard a whole bunch of thing on the spectrum. So the king's like, okay, what the hell exactly am I going to watch, right? So the first 2 episodes dropped on Disney Plus, and their schedule is kind of funny. You guys will figure it out. I think it goes episode 3, 4, and then 5 and 6, and then 7, 8, 9. That's how it works out. I don't care. Either way, first episode was like 55 minutes. The second one, I think, was maybe, I want to say 50 minutes, you know. Not too much post-credit scene to be taken off. And let's see. I want to see. Is there any names of the first one? I didn't write down the names, but I'm telling you, the actors, oh my God. So, I can honestly tell you guys, it's damn good. I was happy with what I saw. What we loved in the Netflix series, we got here. It might be toned down a little bit with the violence, but the violence is there. But it's violence, guys, that is necessary. It's not like violence driven, meaning you need something to happen for the certain. No. You got the Kingpin dealing with this stuff. You got Charlie dealing with this stuff in the aftermath. Guys, the opening scene, the first 15 minutes of the series, phenomenal. I think it's the most jarring that you'll go through and you think, spoiler, if you haven't seen Daredevil's episode 1 and 2, don't watch this part of the video. Go back and watch it after, but I'm going to spoil it because my reaction told you everything. This, I can actually explain myself. First 15 minutes, the way it opens up, phenomenal. You went back, you immersed yourself in that world. You saw Karen You saw Foggy. You saw Matt joking around in Hell's Kitchen, going to a local bar, having a fun, enjoying themselves. It looks like they moved up in life, like phenomenal. It was crazy. And then shit hit the fan. You find out that Foggy is protecting one of his cases. He stashed him at his house, and he's in trouble. Matt hears it. He goes outside and he asks him, "What do you mean you have this person stashed? Where did you stash him?" So he gets going. He flies off. He changes. He goes to the apartment to help this guy out. Meanwhile, all this has been orchestrated by a villain, Bullseye. So he's back at the beginning. And my God, hell breaks loose. It was basically, guys, he lured him out there only to go back to hunt down Matt Murdock's friends, Karen and Foggy. And he realized he got set up, so he's trying to swing back from Foggy's place to where they are. And Bullseye, he literally shoots Foggy. You see the splat. Karen's there, takes out everybody. Shit's hitting the fan. Pardon my language, guys. Holy smokes. Like, wow. I go, no, they just didn't shoot Foggy. Like, they just brought him back. And what? So he's like bleeding to death on the floor. Karen's watching over him. Chaos is going on. Daredevil shows up. They fight in the bar. They tore that place apart. You got knives flying back and forth. You got Daredevil kicking over. There's a big fight scene. You got people running for their lives. People getting killed by Bullseye as they're fighting, going up the stairs, which you saw in the trailer, right to the rooftop. And in the meantime, while Matt's fighting him and getting stabbed and whatever, and pretty cool looking scenes up there, guys. I'll tell you right now. Even the suit looks pretty cool. Fighting. He's listening to what's happening to Karen downstairs with Foggy. And he hears Foggy's heart stop. So, and you hear Karen scream and whatever. He lets out a whatever, why this, whatever the hell and thing. So he pretty much whatever. And the shocking part, besides Foggy getting killed, first 15 minutes, is Matt's on the roof with Bullseye. Basically annihilates him. And once he finds out that Foggy's dead, he literally pushes him off the building. And you see the body splat like that on the ground. Done. I'm like, what the hell did we just watch? Literally, guys. I'm like, oh my God, this is the first, 15 minutes. And then all of a sudden you see Bullseye, his eyes flinch, he's alive. I'm like, how the hell did he survive? So they end up taking him to court. Foggy's dead. Wow. Trauma. Karen ends up leaving to go to San Francisco. She comes back for the court case where they both meet for the first time after 1 year. Both of them are trying to move it on. Matt hasn't been Daredevil at all. He's given up that. He's doing what Foggy always wanted to, just fight guys and keep it clean. He's trying to stay out of trouble and whatever. Confronts them. He ends up going to jail. That was pretty much the first episode. Then you got the Kingpin coming back. I don't know, because I could be blurring this, guys. I don't know if this was episode number 2 or 1, but the Kingpin shows up. You got Vanessa, his wife, who's now kind of like the new Kingpin. So they're kind of trying to tie it up. The Kingpin missing, going to deal with the whole Echo situation and his eye and all that. They joked around kind of thing about that. And you find out that Vanessa took over for him and everybody's in line. And then he ends up showing up. I think this could even be in episode 2, guys. I don't know. I'm mixing it up. Could be episode 2. But he ends up showing up. This is the beginning of episode 2, probably. That's what I'm thinking. So he ends up showing up. You know, in the first episode, he hears that the Kingpin's running for mayor because the Kingpin decides he's going to run for mayor, which is like, what the hell? Anyways, he ends up winning the election, so he becomes that. And like I said, meanwhile, he's working at the firm with this lady, this girl. This girl sets him up with this kind of like psychiatrist. So they have a thing going on. Something develops. They get it close, going on dates and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And anyways, so Kingpin, this is the funny part. So the Kingpin needs to stay clean and stuff like that. So you got different other characters introduced and stuff. James Gandolfini's character, his son is in there. Kind of like the rah-rah cheerleader guy kind of thing. It's pretty cool. He does a good job of it. Kingpin's staying away. Vanessa is doing her thing there. She's in charge, whatever. She's raising money. So he got the 25,000 signatures. He was responsible for 2K of them, whatever, to get elected. So he's trying to be his lawyer. He's trying to get things running and whatever. Matt doesn't like it at all. He's like, see, he's gaming the system is what he says, but whatever. Anyways, so he's trying to stay out of it. Sees the Kingpin coming out, confronts him. They have that diner scene that you guys see on TV. Phenomenal, man. I never seen a more cool thing. Just the dialogue alone, phenomenal. Top-notch TV. Marvel Glory, let's just say that. They have a little conversation, and basically, guys, each other's telling the other one, you better not, dress up as a vigilante, because if you do, I'm going to try and pass this vigilante bill, and then you're going to be wanted for, charges like that, blah, blah. And he says, you better not cross the line because I'm watching you, because, throw a couple other little nice pleasantries. They didn't, yell at each other, go their separate ways or whatever. So now we kind of do that. He gets elected. He's trying to get the police chief, who doesn't want to have anything to do with him because his past, ends up blackmailing him because he ends up having a kid, blah, blah. He works his magic and he does what he does. Acts all merrily. He's lost weight. There was a couple of jokes like that at the table too. Goes, seems like you lost weight, which you did, because you can see him, he's a lot thinner now, Kingpin. And as he's dealing with this stuff and kind of doing what he needs to do, you got Vanessa doing her stuff. You got Charlie. There's a scene in the second episode, I think it's right at the beginning, that the White Tiger gets introduced, guys. So there's another spoiler alert. But we don't see him as the White Tiger. We know that he is him because Charlie does his digging and he finds out who he is with his buddy Cherry. So anyways, so they do the digging, whatever. He ends up going down the subway. This guy's getting jumped by these two people. Doesn't know why. Find out they're cops, crooked cops. So he gets involved in whatever. And one of the crooked cops, the guy who was helping out the White Tiger, I'll call him, because I don't remember his name. God rest the actor's soul, he passed away. Did a phenomenal job from what I saw from one episode. He accidentally pushes the cop, and the cop ends up getting killed by the train. Done. The witness runs for his life, whatever, and he's in hiding. So he's hiding somewhere, whatever. I don't know if he's in some sort of protective custody. Who knows what the hell. This guy gets arrested. He gets beat up. Matt's at the jail. Hears about this. He ends up going confront. He says, I'm his lawyer. He's going to represent him. He does a little bit more digging, finds out he's the White Tiger, goes to the house, blah, blah, blah. And then, this is the kicker, right near the end, because I'm leaving a lot out, guys. Trust me, there's so much that I'm forgetting right now, but phenomenal. It's well written. Dialogue, phenomenal. But the action, when it happens, it happens. Anyways, Matt finds out that he needs this witness that the cops, those crooked cops, want to get to, because without them, he doesn't have a case, and this guy's going to end up in jail for the rest of his life. So he gets the information. He ends up going to where this guy is. He gets there just before the two crooked cops show up to take him out, to kill him. He convinces the guy, listen, I got my guy Cherry. Go through the back window, whatever. I'll deal with this. Guys, he did good without fighting, whatever the hell. But like I said, they put him in a position. So he's having a conversation. He goes, hey, you're the lawyer, blah, blah, blah. He goes, yeah, well, you're not going to find whatever. So he goes to whatever, and he gives him a little bump. They take Matt, put him on the thing, he loses his glasses, and they start assaulting him. They beat him. They start beating the crap out of him. And he's holding back not to do anything. Okay, they're just beating me up. I'll just tough it out. Blood drips, whatever. It wasn't until one of those cops pulls out a gun on Matt. Game over, guys. He goes out and he goes crazy mode. He takes him out. You see him snap one of the cops' arms. One guy's head's on the fridge. The way he tossed the one guy, it looked like he snapped his neck. Sorry, guys, I'm getting a little graphic and detailed here. Took him out, boom, like that, and he literally killed both of them, and he lets out a big scream at the end because he realized, damn, he can't escape being Daredevil. Like, he's tried so hard, but it suckers him into, and I don't know what's going to happen in episode 3 and whatever, but that's how it leaves the episode. But there was a little clue on one of the cops. It looked like a skull. It looked like the Punisher's skull. So I don't know, there's people who are using the Punisher's name to inflict punishment, but for their own purposes, kind of like doing that. So they're misusing the Punisher's name for what they want to do for themselves. But yeah, Matt takes them out, and that's how it ends up. And I'm like, are you serious? But that fight scene, that last 5 or 7 minutes, phenomenal. Like, it, boom. Like, wow. It was even better than the first fight scene with Bullseye. So with two crazy events in the first 2 episodes, the Kingpin back how he's supposed to be, Matt being the way he is, and then you have her in San Francisco, Karen, who might show up later on. We're still waiting because we know that the Punisher's in this. So is it going to be the next episode the Punisher's going to get introduced? I don't know. 9 episodes of this thing, from what I gather, or 8. I'm looking for it, everyone. And this is like 45 minutes. It felt like 15. So it kind of resembles the Netflix series, but it doesn't. It kind of looks like it's a little bit toned down. It's the same, but it's different at the same time. And I love both episodes. Phenomenal episodes 1 and 2. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought of Daredevil 1 and 2, of Daredevil Born Again. Did it live up to your hypes? Did you like it? Is it comparable to Netflix's 3 seasons that we got on there? Charlie Cox is back. I'm happy it's a Daredevil that we deserve and we all wanted. And the other actors, just too bad they killed Foggy in the first one anyways. So either way, let me know in the comment section. That's my official Daredevil Born Again episodes 1 and 2 review. I can't wait to tackle the next episode, which is going to drop next week. And man, I'm telling you, it's going to get crazy, but it's phenomenal. So there you go, guys. That's my official Daredevil Born Again review. Okay. The one thing I don't normally do, but I'm going to cover it because it was big news everywhere, especially in the world of TV entertainment. I'm talking about WWE wrestling, guys. Yes, I can see your eyes rolling, whatever. I never talk about wrestling, but the Elimination Chamber 2025 happened in Toronto, my hometown. It was a big deal. There's only, I believe, 4 matches on the card, period. You had the women's match, Elimination Chamber match, in a cage, which was phenomenal. You have the men's, then you have the feud between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, both Canadian boys from Quebec, going at each other. And then you had the women's. You had Trish Stratus, hometown grown, Toronto. You don't know who Trish, you're in trouble. With Tiffany Stratton, with the current women's champion. They were tag teaming against Nia Jax and LeRae. That match was okay. It was just whatever, just make the crowd happy. The Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens match, crazy. Violent. Like, if you guys wanted to see nonsense, you got it. From steel chairs with barbed wire, going through tables. Several times you thought they killed each other. And then the carnage near the end that, Kevin Owens won. Spoiler alert. And then to have a particular wrestler that Kevin started this whole nonsense of going after everybody, trying to end their careers there. With, Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, and then Randy Orton originally. Randy comes out. Hell breaks loose. Everybody's excited. And that was the biggest thing that happened today or during the event. But I knew he was coming back. I predicted whatever was going on, and it happened. Sometimes a little bit different than what I thought. But he came out, wanted to punt in his head, so now they're setting him a match up for WrestleMania. So that's that match. That's tag team women's match gone. The women's Elimination Chamber match, wow. Started off with a bang because you had, particular people returning, like Alexa Bliss from being off almost a year and a half for what she was dealing with. She finally came back. You got Bianca, the former tag champions, in there. You have Liv Morgan, Rodriguez. They hate each other. You have Jade Cargill, who's been injured. We still didn't know who was responsible. They showed footage. This is the crazy part. That's why I call it entertainment. That they blamed Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, her bodyguard, that they were responsible. So anyways, this is the perfect setup, guys. So you're wondering, when's she going to come back? Because she's going to come back. Something's going to happen at the chamber. We're going to find out the truth, and that's pretty much what happened. So just as the match is ready to start, you got Bianca, because they have like chambers that they're stuck. That's what's called the Elimination Chamber. After 2-3 minutes, the door opens, they get released, and they fight. That's what it is. 1 by 1. There's 4 wrestlers, 2 start. Whatever. That's the premises of the match. Easy way I can explain it to you guys. So as things are, you got Liv Morgan, the person who supposedly went after this Jade Cargill person, and you have the new tag team partner, Bianca Belair, because Bianca Belair found another tag partner so she won't lose the titles, and that was Naomi. Okay? So we're finding out what's going on. So there's all these rumors. What the hell's the story? They're blaming Liv Morgan. Jade Cargill music comes in. They open the chamber. She goes in. And I'm telling you, Liv Morgan looks petrified, like she's the one who's going to get it. And all of a sudden, she does a beeline tie Naomi and lays the beating of a lifetime. Wow, that was a shock to the crowd. This is even before it started. Beats her up, throws her against everything. You guys got to see the footage. And then as she's exiting, she has her head in the door and she slams the door and they take her on a stretcher and then she gets eliminated and that's where the match starts. The match itself was phenomenal. Like, Bianca Belair ends up winning the thing. So spoiler right there. But Liv Morgan, the star of the thing, getting whipped with the hair, marks all over her, blood, this, that. It was nuts, okay? That was the beginning of the pay-per-view. Then they got into the women's tag match. Then it was Kevin Owens, Sam, and then it was the guys. The guys, even more crazier guys. So in that one, we had an all-star. We had Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, John Cena came back for the stupid thing. And I'm forgetting one more person. I can't remember who the other person was in the Elimination Chamber. But anyways, doesn't matter because whatever, right? So basically, hell breaks loose. Everybody's going in. Everybody's chirping everybody. Blah, blah. AJ Styles, no, he wasn't in it. I'm making a mistake. But there was someone else in there. I can't remember who right now. But they're all chirping each other, whatever. So then people get eliminated. You know, people tricking each other. The last three people was Seth Rollins, Cena, and John Cena, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. Punk is whatever. It was at one point, Seth Rollins, they end up taking Seth Rollins out. But I told my brother, the King's brother, Lord Nico, did Seth leave? Because they're still fighting in it. I didn't see Seth walk by the screen and get let out. I go, damn it. They're setting him up. He's going to get screwed, Punk, because I wanted Punk to win. Because I wanted Punk versus Cody Rhodes for WrestleMania. So, I knew it. They're fighting. They're doing the thing. John Cena's the thing. Punk got tossed to the rope. And then all of a sudden, you see Rollins head stomp him. Basically, almost does the damage that he needs to do. Cena takes advantage, pulls him in, makes him submit, but he doesn't give up. He passes out. Cena wins the Elimination Chamber match. I'm like, are you joking? So the cage goes up, blah, blah, blah. John Cena's the winner. Cody Rhodes comes out. Cody Rhodes comes out to congratulate John Cena because he's going to fight in WrestleMania. At the same time, the big deal in Toronto that they made us think for the last week was the final boss. The final boss is The Rock. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. The Rock had confronted Cody Rhodes about a week earlier saying, the day before saying, you're going to be my champion and sell me your soul. I want your soul. I want you to be my champion. Blah, blah, to basically make him turn heel. Bad guy. So he has to make it a decision at the end of the pay-per-view. So The Rock shows up with some rapper. I don't know his name. I can't remember his name now. But whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. They come to the rink, whatever. The Rock's coming out with his glasses, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, they're having this chirp. So The Rock's, getting him going, touching his face, saying, hey, are you going to be my boss? Blah, blah, blah. If not, it's not going to be. Something about the American dream is going to die again, which is his father, the American dream. He's the American nightmare, right? And basically, Cody's like baiting all of us. He's getting us to go, 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 go. And then all of a sudden, this is the cool part, guys. All of a sudden, you see Cody Rhodes, baiting and saying, oh, my soul, I gave it to the fans. The crowd goes nuts. John Cena's doing his own little whatever he's doing in there. He's kind of like getting excited. Yeah, he's telling him where to go, blah, 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 okay? This is what I'm like, no, there's a reason why Cena won. Trust me. Anyways, this is the shocker, guys. So I'm like, whatever. So then he goes, hey, Rock, go beep yourself. I'm like, me and my brother looking at each other like, did they just allow him to swear right to the Rock's face? And I'm like, oh, that. I was like, what the hell's going to happen next? And the Rock stood there quiet. And John Cena's all, whatever the hell. John Cena gives him a hug. And then he looks, guys, he looks at the Rock. And I'm like, he's in one of these stairs like zombie Cena. And then the Rock does like this, like basically, hey. So Cena backs up. Cody didn't see this. He kicks him right between the legs on the ground, guys. Cena turned heel. The crowd is shocked. All the kids are crying in the audience because it's his last run. Cena's going to be done in December. He wants to be a 17-time champion and break the record, be the most glorified, whatever. So he sides with The Rock. They beat him up, all of them beating, his bleeding, all that stuff. Left the world in shock. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? And I told my brother, even before this went down at the beginning, when Cena's still there, why is Cena still there? Right? Usually it doesn't work that way. And I knew the chamber because the way Cena won, he kind of took advantage of a situation and won that way. Usually you would think he won to win clean. And oh my God, the place went bananas. The world, so many views. I'm telling you, it's such a big deal. And it's his last run. So now you got the evil John Cena with The Rock versus Kendrick Lamar. I don't know if that's his name, whether the rapper. Sorry, guys. My memory's bad. But oh my God. The world went nuts. Cena attacking him with his watch, with the title, leaving him blood, sending over him with The Rock. I'm telling you, it was phenomenal. And then the interviews at the end, just walks in, drops the mic and leaves because he literally has to go film something in South Africa, whatever. but it looks bananas, man. I'm telling you, that it was one of the best pay-per-views. It had only 4 matches. Left the world stunned and people talking about it even till today. That's why I decided to do a review. Usually I don't do reviews, but I think I will, because wrestling now, especially WWE, it's called sports entertainment. So that's half wrestling, half acting, half stunt, whatever the hell it is. But it was phenomenal, and I hope you guys liked it. You let me know. Did you watch the Elimination Chamber? Are you a wrestling fan? Either way, let me know in the comment section. But that's my official review on WWE 2025 Elimination Chamber from Toronto. I loved it. You guys let me know in the comment section below. Okay, guys, that's the reviews. I'm done with the reviews. Now, I know this is going to be a long video. It's going to be probably over an hour. Now, as you guys know, thumbnail, I'm going to get to the main topic. The main topic, guys, is about a little movie called Queen of the Ring. It's a wrestling film that's coming out literally, I believe, this week. It stars Felicity, actress from Arrow, which Emily Bett Rickards. It has Josh Lucas, Billy Wolf, Tyler Posey, Walton Goggins, Francesca Eastwood, Maria Angelopoulos. That's a Greek name. I can't even pronounce it. She plays Elvira. You got Kaylee Farmer, Cara Buono, Adam Demos, Deborah Ann Wall's in it. Speak of Daredevil. Kaylee Berglund, Martin Cove, and I believe Tony Storm, too. The wrestler's also in this one. Basically, if I could sum it up, guys, is basically at that time in the early 1920s and 30s when wrestling was a big thing, it was a guy's sport. It was apparently illegal for women to wrestle because they can get charged for wrestling and stuff like that. So they would do these underground things, and it was very hard for a woman wrestler to make it big. And based on what I saw, she was a single mother, parent, trying to raise her kid, finding a way to make money. She was popular. They were doing these underground things, and she was the first athlete of anything to reach and make $1 million, like ever, like money-wise. So it's a story based on her. I don't know the history. I haven't watched it or the history of her, but it looks good. It's a period piece, and it's amazing. It opens up. I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to go see it. I might see it later on when it comes on streaming service or something, but it looks great. And so I thought, you know what? Since that movie's coming out, and to help celebrate wrestling as a thing, and I spoke about wrestling before, it's a good way to segue into the main topic, which concerns that. I thought, what a better way for me to, promote wrestling by giving you guys maybe some of the good movies you can watch wrestling-wise. Films, wrestling movies, or films based on wrestling. I kind of covered both, like comedy, wrestling itself, and then, of course, professional wrestling, like Olympics. And I'm going to go through a list quickly here and kind of give you guys some of my movie recommendations you guys got to check out, which I think you guys are going to all get a kick out of. I know I forgot one off the bat, and I'm going to mention it right away. It's Peanut Butter Falcon. I believe it stars Zach. Oh my God, I can't remember his last name. Kogan or something like that. You got Shia LaBeouf, and you have Miss Madam Web there. I can't remember her name now. She's in it too. It's about a kid who wants to become a wrestler, comes across Shia LaBeouf's character. He ends up taking him to where he needs to learn to become a wrestler, and all that mix. And there's, of course, a lady who's working with this kid who's mentally challenged, and she kind of works with Shia, and they kind of fall for each other, and they end up getting to the wrestling thing, and that's pretty much it. It came out recently, like I want to say about 2-3 years ago. That's one I forgot to put on the list, which I'm going to mention. So Peanut Butter Falcon, one of the good movies, was nominated for a couple of awards and categories there for the Oscars. Check it out for yourselves. Loved it. Okay, the ones that I have on paper here, because the king, he's old. One that comes off the mind, which is from the 2000s, is Ready to Rumble. It's about an hour and 47 minutes, directed by Brian Robbins. It stars David Arquette, Oliver Platt, Scott Kahn, Bill Goldberg. You guys know who Goldberg is if you're a wrestling fan. Rose McGowan, Diamond Dallas Page, Sting, those are other wrestlers. Joey Pantoliano, Caroline Ray. Basically, guys, if I had to sum this up for you guys, it's wrestling fans who go after a promoter who apparently are trying to can their favorite wrestler, and that's where the comedy comes out of. So it's more like a slapstick kind of take on wrestling, kind of making fun of it, but it is enjoyable. I think I seen it way back in the day. I don't remember all the details on it, but it was one of my favorites that, if you're a wrestling fan, kind of goofy, it gets you into it. One that I do remember, which I saw in the theater, and I also bought it on Blu-ray, was called Fighting With My Family. It came out in 2019, directed by Steven Merchant. He plays in Logan, So look it up. Good actor, good director. It's loosely based on the biography or the life of Paige, Soraya Knight. We know her as Paige in WWE. She was played by Florence Pugh. Lena Headey is in here. Game of Thrones fame. She plays her mother, Julia. You got Vince Vaughn, which is like the wrestling kind of guy for WWE back in the day, when at NXT that recruit people. You got Nick Frost, who played her father, Ricky. You got Jack Landon, who played Zach, her brother. And Steven Merchant, he's also in there involved. He does his little skits there and whatever. And I'm telling you guys, you're going to be entertained if you're a wrestling fan to see how she basically, fighting in England, gets signed to WWE, goes through all this drama and hardship and whatever, and it was her brother's dream to make it, but he doesn't make it, but then she does, and then the drama from the home, and then not talking to each other, the parents being upset, her getting hurt, feeling miserable in the States, making it big, meeting The Rock behind the scenes. It was pretty cool to see all those behind the scenes things put together, and to kind of see when she does cut on top, when she debuts on the main roster and she wins the title, and it takes you on a ride there. But everybody brought it, and you would enjoy it. If you guys watch it, I know you don't like wrestling, but if you watch it, guarantee you're going to start watching it. Go watch it for yourself. Fighting With My Family. Okay, now let's go to one movie that is perfect. It's more like the Olympic level wrestling, real wrestling, if you want to call it that. It's not the stage stuff. Even though wrestling is real, I don't care, because you do get hurt. Foxcatcher. My God, guys. 2014. It's 2 hours and 14 minutes. Steve Carell. He plays John DuPont. You got Channing Tatum, Mark Ruffalo. They're the two brothers who train under this rich guy who wants to, for the Olympic team, create the best team and whatever. And crazy stuff goes on. Sienna Miller's also in this thing. She plays Nancy, one of the brothers' wife. It's based on a true story. It's tragic. It's two brothers who deal with this crazy guy who invites everybody to go there, and he's kind of abusive and stuff like that. And it doesn't end well. He shoots up a couple of people. I'm telling you, it was crazy. Like, to watch behind the scenes, because they showed actual footage of the real people who were involved and who they were portraying. And it's one of those tragic, whoa, what the hell, right? How wrestling can turn so quickly and so bad. And I'm telling you, the dynamics, the acting on that was crazy. It's not your fun go whatever, but it's one of those movies you can sit down and watch and be okay with. Okay, go watch it. The Foxcatcher came out in 2014. The next one I wanted to talk about, which The Wrestler, 2008. Mickey Rourke put it back on the map. A more serious take. He plays a washed-up wrestler called Randy. He needs to retire because of injuries and stuff like that. And he's trying to find a life outside of wrestling. And then you can kind of see him unwinding and then trying to get back in and all this. And meets all these characters around him. And it's not pretty. Marissa Tomei is in there too. It's pretty sad. You got a whole bunch of other actors too. It's a faded pro wrestler that, he's trying to find a way to survive outside the ring without, ending up dead like a lot of wrestlers do. And he's beat up, whatever. Got nominated. Mickey Rourke, amazing performance. It's a little bit more serious movie, but it gives you a gist of the life of a wrestler and what happens after when they retire, kind of thing. So The Wrestler, 2008. Go check it out. I think it was nominated for a couple of Oscar categories or whatever. The last thing I got to talk about, which is a phenomenal movie, guys, The Iron Claw. That came out in 2023. It's about 2 hours and I want to say 12 minutes. It stars Zac Efron as Kevin Von Erich. It's based on the Von Erich family. Wrestling dynasty, well known in wrestling. You got the Rock Dynasty, the family and all these different family trees. These guys were pretty much big in Texas and whatever. There was like 3 or 4 brothers who got into the business after their father, and you find out the turmoil, the relationships, and what it took to get there. The father being such a idiot to them. The mother didn't like what was going on, and then it was tragic. Brother after brother would either get killed, die tragically because of drugs, alcohol abuse, all that stuff. But you got Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, Harris Dickinson, Maura Tierney plays their mother, Holt McCallany, Fritz, I think that's the father. Chavo Guerrero was one of the wrestlers that was involved. He played the Sheik. Ryan Nemeth, he plays Gino Hernandez. Lily James is in it too. I think she was one of the girlfriends that they worry about her causing problems and stuff like that. And Kevin Anton, he plays another Harley Race. So it's cool to see they put it well together, because I'm like, how serious is this movie? Is this going to be good? Like, it's people that I've heard of, but it's not like a Hulk Hogan or somebody that I know now that will draw you into it. But it's a good introduction to how wrestling and how serious people take it and how tragic their lives are, and the traveling, the abuse on their bodies and the injuries, and the one brother, his foot getting cut off and amputated, and they're wondering how the hell is he going to wrestle because of a car accident or a motorcycle accident. He survived, but how is he going to come back to wear the boot? Because I watched them wrestle, and I'm like, how's this guy wrestling? But you would see blood, and then you understand now why, because he didn't have a foot. Like, crazy stuff like that, but enough to get you to watch, and it's damn good. I was pleasantly surprised. Didn't expect anything from it, besides being another, like, okay, some biography on some, wrestling family and whatever, like the Harts and whatever. I'm like, eh. But it turned out to be pretty damn good. So let me go over the list one final time. Of course, Peanut Butter Falcon, Fighting with My Family, Ready to Rumble, The Foxcatcher, The Wrestler, and The Iron Cloud. So those are some of the wrestling films that I recommend you guys check out if you're a wrestling fan, because there's not too many out there, and the ones that are decent, the other ones are more jokey, like, yeah, okay, they're making fun of it, but these are the more, some do make, they have fun doing it, but not to the point that they're making really fun of the film itself. But there you go. So that helps celebrates the Queen of the Ring movie that's coming out this weekend, starring Emily Bett Rickards. So yeah, go check it out. Go in the comment section. If you've seen any of them, let me know either way. So there you go, guys. Shorts, simple and sweet. No, it isn't. We're over an hour, close to an hour and 10. I don't know how I'm going to feel, guys, because I've been dealing with vertigo, guys. I'm going to probably keep it as basic as possible. You'll see the Hot Topics logo and stuff like that. But pictures and stuff you probably won't see until maybe I do the thumbnails or the clip outs. Then I'll put the proper pictures on there. So if you guys want to see the all pretty up version, you might have to wait till tomorrow for that if I do it. But this one might be just basic, simple, because it is a long episode. And yeah, the King's under the weather, but good enough to come here and talk to you guys on a Saturday afternoon. Let me have a sip of coffee here. So I hope you guys like this episode of the Movie Throne podcast. Don't worry, the Admiral's returning next week, because there's a couple of movies coming and things that he would like to come on and talk about with all you guys and have fun. So until next Saturday, all you guys have a good weekend. Like, share, and subscribe. Stay off the King's Throne. Check out our other videos. Be patient. A little bit of a redo makeover there with new thumbnails and stuff. Channel's still up. We're still going to produce content. Don't worry, we're not going anywhere. But for the most part, stick around. A lot of cool stuff coming your way. And of course, other YouTube channels coming as well. Yagnama Figure Reviews. That's coming. I'm going to be doing some more reviews in 2025. Probably starting, I would say, next month. So either way, tune in for that. That's why you don't see any figure reviews on here anymore. I'm going to go back to doing what I did and have fun. So anyways, either way, bear in mind, stay off the King's Throne. And I'll see you guys where? We're here on YouTube Land. Take it easy and definitely be the hell good, or I'll send some wrestlers after you. Take it easy, guys.